It's space weather! Looking at the solar disk in 193 angstroms is showing a little bit of activity in the center of the solar disk. No sunspots. Big coronal holes. And a strange, non-existent magnetic connection. Unexplainable phi angle. Also, editor's note, yesterday we said a solar wind would have arrived. That's just because we were just basing it on what spaceweather.com said, and they were absolutely wrong. Let's look at some other stuff. I didn't know where that wind stream was coming from, but they said there was one coming. They were incorrect. Spent about 36 hours at a KP0. Maximizing low KP health risks. Cosmic rays. Not sure where the KP is. Here we are at 304 angstrom. There's a big filament in the southwest. Check it out. Kapow. It looks like it went around the other side of the sun there. Here's our magnetic lines, and this is why we cannot figure out how this coronal hole does not appear to be magnetically connected to the Earth. All those squiggly lines usually indicate a connection, but we don't see it yet based on the phi angle. That said, let's look at the data. SpaceWeatherNews.com. Oh, we're already on the desktop site. How about that? All right. Oh, see, got a little bit of X-ray flux there, a tiny blip. And you can see the phi angle is around like 270. We'd expect it to be around 90 based on that incoming coronal hole. So that's not making a lot of sense. Also, we did just have an earthquake. Oh, look, there's a discrepancy in the magnetometer also. You see the red line there vanishes and reappears. Probably because of cosmic rays. Not fully sure. But, yeah, missing data. How about it? Now, we have seen this before when we had a big spike. But usually when there's a big dip, you'll see it there on the bottom. So anyway, KP index is back to 0. If you're not familiar with cosmic ray health risks and so on, please look at our previous videos as we go over it. Electron flux has missing data also, so that's probably either the GOES 15 or the GOES 16. I forget which one it is. One of them probably got hit with cosmic rays or had a CCD bakeout for whatever reason. Here's your F2 ionosphere layer, looking pretty normal. There's your auroras. Let's take a look at solar ham. I'm going to ham it up on solar ham. We'll take a look at the LASCO C2. Take a look at the 48-hour GIF there. See what's going on with the corona. Oh, there's a little bit of CME activity there. That was most definitely Earth-facing. It must have gone right past the Earth. You can see in the upper left quadrant, you see a cloud come out of there. There it is. Not quite a halo, so probably didn't hit the Earth. Anyway, now let's go to space weather. SpaceWeather.com is who predicted the solar wind to arrive yesterday, which is why we reported it. We didn't actually analyze it. We just thought that they were correct. They were wrong. So anyway, so they're still waiting for the solar wind. Last but not least, we have had a fairly large earthquake. There's been a series of deep quakes. Once again, what are you doing to us, USGS? For some reason, I don't have the whole list here. All right, we're back. Technical difficulties averted. All right, so there's been a rash of very deep earthquakes. Let's go over it real quick. So we had a 5.4 south of Fiji at nearly 500 kilometers depth. There was a 5.2 in Tajikistan just before that. Actually, 2 hours before that. We got a 4.7 in Japan. A 4.5 in Indonesia at 101 kilometers. Probably portending of another earthquake, which may have already occurred, but let's just go down the list. A 4.9 at Portugal. That's quite rare. A 4.9 at Indonesia. Now that might have been the manifestation of that last blot echo quake. 4.8 at Vanuatu. 4.9 at New Caledonia. And then look at this one here. A 4.4 at nearly 600 kilometers depth. Could be causing an antipode resonance on the opposite side of the Earth. Although here's a 5.5 in the Banda Sea, which is in between Papua New Guinea and Indonesia. Oh, and just in the past few minutes we had a 4.8 in China. Check it out. Anyway, as we await the magnetic connection to that incoming coronal hole, earthquake risk is at a very high level. So when that magnetic connection occurs, earthquake risk will be higher. KP is still sitting at 0, so we're in a cosmic ray flux situation. Please be aware of the health situations. I mean, you're more likely to have things like heart attacks, strokes, heart arrhythmias. So be aware of all that stuff. Ignore no health symptoms. Keep an eye on those who you interact with on a daily basis. Make sure they're all right. And may the wind be at your back and the atherosclerosis absent from your arteries.